Hey, hey, and welcome to yet another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we will be continuing our hero's journey to become worthy opponents of the evil Dread Lord Zargon. We are only 2 quests away from the end of our first book, The Coming Storm. Now, that book is only 1 out of 14, which means we have plenty more quests before we will be sending our group of heroes to face off against Zargon himself. Tonight, we will be continuing our trilogy of quests that in this book we are going to be following a group of heroes to an ancient ruined temple in search of the ancient legendary Spirit Blade, which is the only thing that can harm the Witch Lord, who is one of Zargon's most feared lieutenants, and our group of heroes in last night's quest accidentally awoke him, which is not good. So we got to go find that sword so that we can get rid of him before he causes a big problem. As always, if you are hanging out in the stream tonight, don't be afraid to throw something in the chat so that I know you're there. You can see Justin Pollitt is already following that lead, so don't be afraid to throw something down there in the chat because we always have some fantastic conversation here. Looking forward to getting into that as always. If you have any suggestions or questions about lore or questions about game mechanics or even just want to chat, throw something in there. It's always great to have some fun while we're playing. Don't forget, you can catch all previous episodes of Midnight Quest, including quests, painting streams, and daily shorts over on our Midnight Quest YouTube channel. Speaking of all that sort of stuff, I do want to say thank you to new followers and new subscribers. We have continued to grow at least a little bit, literally every single day. So seriously, thank you guys for all the support. It means the world to us. And if you are a new viewer, whether you're watching this live or not, please consider giving us a follow here on Twitch or a subscribe over on YouTube. All that stuff really, really helps, and we really, really appreciate that. We got plenty of good stuff coming at you. Justin says I'll probably end up snoring at you. Yeah. Yes, I wouldn't blame you for trying to get some shut-eye there, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Justin's work schedule is insane, so I appreciate you still tuning in, even though you might be sleeping through some of it. Oh man, we are streaming here almost every single night. So if you are not doing anything at midnight every weeknight and weekday except for Thursday, weeknight and weekend night, I screwed that up. Except for Thursday, we are here streaming quests on Fridays, Saturdays, Mondays, and Tuesdays, and painting on Sundays and Wednesdays, leaving you only Thursday nights to do whatever it is you do on a Thursday night at midnight when you're alone. We'll just leave it right there. We've got some quests set up to get to before we can play, so let's get that out of the way. Go ahead and get our music started up. There we go. And as always, we are going to be starting out by picking the 4 heroes that are going to go on tonight's quest. I'm really excited to see who goes. Now, I know at least one of them is going to be our Berserker. He's the last one that hasn't been on 5 quests other than our brand new hero, Mordecai. But the rest of these are going to be a total surprise. Now, regular viewers know this, but we currently have 11 heroes in the ranks, but only 4 heroes can go on a quest at a time. So we use these Beatles cards to randomly select 4 of those heroes. These cards line up to a character randomizer sheet on the wall behind me. So our first one is, yes, the Queen of Diamonds, which is Robert Tylan, the Berserker. Here he is, primed and dry brushed, but not painted just yet. But maybe going to be painted on tomorrow night's painting stream, depending on where Savannah's at. So there's him. Next going on the quest is the Jack of Diamonds, which I think, yes, is Gramina, the Dwarven Explorer. Gramina! Yes. She is becoming a popular staple of the chat. Yeah, very excellent paint job there. Next going on the quest is the 3 of Diamonds, which is Mordecai Oran, our newest hero and our wizard. Now he was on last night's quest too. He's only in the running so often because he's brand new, and we're trying to get his number of quests up so that it's generally about the same as everybody else's. And finally, the Jack of Hearts, which is Hogard Redmantle, the dwarf. And here is Hogard, and he was painted fairly recently. I think he's been on 1 quest since he was painted. Absolutely. So this is interesting. Out of these, to see who ends up wielding the Spirit Blade should be definitely interesting. Now, Mordecai can't have it, but I think, you know, Gramina might not be able to have it either. She might. We'll have to check on that. So one of these three is going to also have to be on tomorrow night's quest to take the Spirit Blade up against the Witch Lord. Justin says, we did 2 quests, had to retry the first one. First Light's first quest is just as hard as the trial. That's wild. Yeah, so Justin was running a session tonight where they played the first quest in the First Light expansion. I guess you could call it an expansion. It's basically an easy version of the game system, but I've only ever read through that book. I've never played those quests. So that's really interesting to see that that first quest is still really hard like that. I need to read that book again because it's been a while. All right, let's get the character sheets out so we can see what our heroes have and what they're going to need. What can we buy them from the armory before we go in? See, there's Mordecai's sheet. There's Robert Tylan. There's Gramina. And Hogard was the last page. Okay, so kind of taking a look down to see what our loadout is. We've got 895 coins, so we've got a pretty decent amount of stuff that we can send into the heroes here. Now, we've got 2 heroes already that can disarm traps. Both Gramina and Hogard are going to be able to disarm traps, so we don't need to worry about buying anybody a toolkit, which is nice. Gramina also has a shield in her inventory, which is interesting. Do we have anybody that could utilize that? Robert Tylan might be able to. Now, eventually he'll have to get rid of it, but I think he can have it right now. Let me grab my armory sheet that gives us all this information. Where's the shield? Who can use that and who can't? Wizard, Warlock, Druid, Rogue, Monk, Explorer. Can't. Okay, so yeah, Robert Tylan could totally take that shield, at least until he gets a battle axe. So once we eventually have enough money to buy him a battle axe, he will not be able to use the shield with that, because it'll take both hands. We do have enough money to get him one of those. Maybe we should be thinking about doing that. We could get somebody a battle axe, and we could just sell that shield. Mordecai can't use it, Gramina can't use it, Hogard's already got one. Yeah, I think that might be the way to go. Let's do that. So we're finally at the point where we can start getting some of the even better weapons, which is nice. Ooh, let's remember though that one of these people end up getting the Spirit Blade. So buying Robert a really nice weapon might not be the thing to go. Okay. So the Spirit Blade is a broadsword, so as far as who can use it, it's the same as a broadsword. So we can't give it to a wizard, a warlock, a druid, or a monk. Yeah, so we could totally give it to Gramina or Hogard. So I think buying a battle axe is still not a bad idea. Okay, I'm gonna bring up my calculator here so that I don't have to do any math on camera. Justin says, my friend got himself killed in a solid wall with pass-through rock. Oh, no. Oh, you got to be so careful with that spell. So 895 coins. If we sell that shield, we always get back half of whatever it's worth. I should have looked at that when I was looking at the other thing. We'll get 75 coins from selling that shield, so I'll go ahead and add that in. That's going to put us up to 970. I'll go ahead and erase that shield off Gramina's paper. And then the battle axe is 450 coins. So let's go ahead and grab one of those. That drops us to 520. We still have a good amount. And we can sell his broadsword, which will give us back a little bit. That is going to be 125 coins back to us. So that's going to put us at 645. Gosh, we could get a second battle axe. Although I don't think Gramina can have that. So that's going to push Robert Tylan's close range up to 4 dice, which is great because he's not allowed to have long range. So he might as well be attacking as hard as he can. So we could get somebody chainmail. Hogard could use chainmail, but it's actually better to save money for him to get plate mail eventually, so we won't worry about that right at the moment. Gramina's already got chainmail. Mordecai's already got the chainmail equivalent. Yeah, you know what? A second battle axe is probably the way to go. So if we give Hogard a battle axe, rather hilariously, what will make the most sense is letting Gramina have the spirit blade. Which is just, I mean, poetic in a way. Okay, yeah, let's do it. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. So we're gonna also sell Hogard's broadsword, which again is gonna give us another 125 gold. And then we will subtract from that another 450 for a second battle axe. So we can also erase the broadsword off of Hogard's sheet. Set him up with a battle axe, which is going to push his close range attack dice to 4. And that leaves us with 320 coins going into this quest, which is still a pretty good amount. I'd say we made out pretty good. Basically, the fact that they found a treasure hoard in the Witch Lord's tomb by total chance in the last quest made all of that spending possible. Okay. Let's get everybody's spells and items and skills. Robert Tylan does not have anything. Gramina also doesn't. Mordecai also doesn't. Hogard has a potion of strength. There we go. So not much in the way of items. How about skill sets? We need the Berserker skills. See if we can find these. Yes, now he, of course, gets the 3 Berserker skills, Retaliation, Frenzy, and Enrage. We will cover what those do when and if he uses them. But as a Berserker, he gets more dangerous the lower in body points he gets. Gramina gets the Explorer skills, which are also in this pile, I believe. Yes. Coin Hunter, Danger Sense, and Trapsmith. Now these skills are not something that she uses. They are just something that are in play all the time. So we'll cover those real quick. Her Coin Hunter skill means that if she searches for treasure and finds gold, she'll find 25 extra coins. Her Danger Sense means that if she searches for treasure and gets a trap, we can discard that card and draw a new one, only once per treasure search. And her Trapsmith skill means that if at any point, once per turn, that she is standing directly adjacent to a trap, we have to tell her about it. So she's the one hero who can kind of get away with not searching for traps, because she'll just sort of sense that it's there. Mordecai's going to get spells. Hogard doesn't get anything. Okay, so we just need to do spells for Mordecai, and then we're ready to start. Jump back over to here. Go ahead and get our character cards picked out too, because I, just like usual, almost forgot to do that entirely. Let's see. Whatever cards I need are always clear at the bottom of the pile too. That's how that always works. There's Hogard. There's Gramina. Oh, somewhere I passed Robert Tylan. Oh, yeah. He's right there. These just help me remember the turn order. In fact, we're going to get them out of the way here just for now. And we are going to randomly pick Mordecai's spells. Does he have anything yet? No, he hasn't really been building his magic stuff. So we have here a big old pile of 6 copies each of the 12 spells that come with HeroQuest. These are the basic tier 1 spells that we use. Regular HeroQuest would have you just pick certain elements to take with you, but I totally randomize. This gives us kind of an element of surprise in the quest as far as what spellcasting classes can or can't do. Sometimes they can get doubles of spells or even triples of spells. They can get a whole bunch of useful stuff, or they can get a whole bunch of nonsense. Either way, it greatly affects how they have to interact with the quest. So Mordecai is going to get 8 completely random spells, and as he builds skill sets, he'll be able to carry more spells, he'll be able to pick them by name rather than having them random, and he'll also start to get stronger spells. His first one tonight is going to be pile number 2, card 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, which is Genie. That is probably one of the best spells in the deck. It's this Arguably the strongest offensive spell. I couldn't think of the word offensive there for a second. His second spell is going to be pile 4, card 3. 1, 2, and 3. This is sleep. Pretty much just does exactly what the card indicates. Puts a monster to sleep until the monster can break the spell. Pile 2, card number 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is Veil of Mist. Allows him to move through monsters for a turn. I've been saying that I don't hardly ever use that spell, but I've been using it, so I guess I should stop saying that. Pile number 3, card 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is Heal Body. Heals him 4 body points, or of course he could use that on somebody else. His fifth spell, pile 4, card 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is another Sleep. The exact same thing as before. Here we have pile 3, card 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 is Pass Through Rock, which was the spell that Justin Pollitt was just talking about as far as that got his friend killed. So we got to be careful with that one. 2 more. Pile 1, card 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 is Tempest. Allows him to freeze a monster for 1 turn. And his final spell for tonight, pile 3, card 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is another Genie. So he is going to be a little bit more offensive tonight, it looks like. He only has 1 healing spell, and they don't have any potions going into this quest. So that spell might be the difference between life and death for somebody. We're going to have to play a little cautious, because we do not have very much healing going into this. Okay, that's going to be our turn order. Let me go ahead and put these spells up a little bit better than I have them right now. Try to put them in kind of a weird vertical pile so that I can see the names of all the spells just by glancing over there. Okay. And that should give us everything we need to get started on this. Okay. Let's take a look at our quest text for tonight. This is Quest 13, Quest for the Spirit Blade. The Witch Lord was not defeated as we had thought. He will pose a most serious threat to the Emperor in the coming war. The Witch Lord must be destroyed before he can bring his army of undead to attack the Emperor's forces. Your goal is to find the Spirit Blade and return with it. Only this ancient weapon can harm the Witch Lord. The Spirit Blade was forged by the dwarves of the World's Edge Mountains and cooled in the elven fountains at Leven. The sword now lies in an ancient ruined temple. And that is going to be where we start today, at the stairway leading into this ruined temple. So let's go back to the board camera, because we are coming up right into the central room tonight. So we got our stairway here in the corner, and there are, rather interestingly, 4 exit doors in this room that the heroes can choose to go out of. We've got one leading to the north. You can kind of see where this is going. One leading to the west. One leading to the south. And one leading to the east. Not very often we have a starting room with 4 ways to go right off the bat. Alright, and we have Robert Tylan the Berserker, Gramina the Dwarven Explorer, Morkai the Wizard, and Hogard Redmantle the Dwarf entering the quest tonight. Okay, don't forget, if you're hanging out in the chat tonight, to throw something in there so we can get some conversation going. I know Justin's in there, but he is probably sleeping. So don't be afraid to let me know you're there and throw some stuff in the chat. Here we are. We need to get Robert Tylan's first turn done. He's got all the normal searches he can do, or he can choose to leave. We're only going to give him one option to leave at the moment, and if he picks that, then we'll decide which door he's leaving through. So, search for traps, search for secret doors, search for treasure, or leave the room. He is going to search for treasure. He's starting the quest off with some adventuring. Let's see what he finds. Robert accidentally triggers a spring-loaded mechanism, which crushes a glass vial and showers him in a stinging purple liquid. It's poison. Roll 1 combat dice. If it lands on a skull, he loses 1 body point. But it lands on a shield. He's a berserker. There is too much rage flowing through his veins to get affected by poison. But that is a scary thing to start off the quest with as a treasure search.
Yeah, that's a good omen.
Yeah, okay, so our second action, search for traps, search for secret doors, or leave. He's going to search for traps in this room, and surprisingly, there are none. Okay. Yeah, Gramina, the Dwarven Explorer, is standing there on the staircase. Now, she really likes to search for secret doors, which is funny because even though I've talked about starting a personality system, we haven't started that. But even leaving her actions to be 100% random, it seems like she chooses to search for secret doors pretty often. And that is the one thing we have not searched for yet in this room. So she's got a 50-50 chance here, but I'd be surprised if she chooses anything else. Secret doors or leave? Oh, she's leaving. Boy, this quest is really not starting off right. Let's roll and see what she gets. She doesn't get very much, so really her only options are the door to the east or the door to the north. So let's see which one of those she's going to go for. She's going to go for the north door. Heroes can exit the staircase on any square adjacent to the staircase. 1, 2. Leaves her right here. And we're going to open the door out into that top hallway, which luckily is already on camera. What she can see out this door is 2 walls. And at the moment, nothing else. Is she going to stop here and search for traps? Yes, she is. Okay. Now, this is a weird trap search. This is usually the biggest area that we allow for a search like this. In the case of this quest, this trap search is going to cover the entire hallway surrounding this central room. The only thing that this is going to reveal to her are walls and traps. So it's not going to reveal doors, not going to reveal monsters, anything like that. Heroes in this land are born with an innate ability called warrior sense, where they can focus their energies and detect hidden things like traps and secret doors. And it's a good thing she did, because there are 3 traps in this hallway. There is a pit trap right over here, quite far away from her, and 2 spear traps really close to where she is. Here and here. Now she's got a pretty good chance of disarming all those, so they're probably not a big deal. But it's also worth noting that there is not a way to go or any doors up here, so it may not be smart for her to go that way anyway. Okie dokie, we are now at Mordecai the Wizard, who is standing in the back there. Let's see what he's doing. Now we got, secret doors or leave are the 2 options. He's going to start his turn by searching this room for secret doors. He finds none. And then he's going to leave. 7. Let's see what door he is going to go out of. He theoretically could reach any of the 3 doors leading out of this room, so let's go ahead and do low card, medium card, high card. He got low card, so he's going all the way over here. We got a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He opens this door, and out into this hallway, he can see... Yeah, we can extend this camera a little bit to see what we're looking at here. There is a wall here. It's a pretty short hallway. And another door into this little tiny room right here. Mordecai, are we stopping here? He doesn't have an action to search, but is he going to stop? No. Let's see, he moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Luckily, no traps there. And that is the end of his turn. We now have Hogard Redmantle the Dwarf back there on the back of the stairs. There's nothing else to search for in this room. Nothing left to do but move. And he's only gotten 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he could do a positive searching here, or he could leave out the other ways. I don't think there's any need to have him go after Gramina, because unless there's a secret door up there, there's nothing to do up there. So let's see. We'll do the same thing as Mordecai. Low card, medium card, high card. He got medium card, so he's headed for this southern door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he is going to open that door. We'll go ahead and push the camera back just a little bit to see what he can see out this hallway. Looks like no further doors. In fact, what he has done is kind of opened up some trouble. So he can see this hallway and also this double wide hallway coming down here, down to there. What he can see right at the moment is one orc archer hanging out in the corner right here. Not fun. But even worse than that, he has also found 2 ocean orcs. Ocean monsters are very fast, but have weak attack. Both of these guys are ocean orcs. And then all the way down at the bottom of the hallway there is also one wasteland femur. Now these are just the regular femurs. Wasteland monsters are traditionally kind of slow, but they have high defense. This guy's just got regular femur stats, because wasteland femurs are the normal type of femur. So as you can see, not necessarily a good situation. He's just found himself in there. He has some options though. He does have some long range that he could use to attack either one of these ocean orcs before they come up. I'd say he can't see this orc well enough to fire at it, and he can't fire at the femur because these orcs are standing in front of it. So he could fire, or he could go ahead and search one of these areas for traps. So let's go ahead and card traps or attack. He's doing traps. Okay, I mean, fair enough. 2 different areas he could search for traps. No, I'm sorry, this area has already been searched. It's the double wide he's searching right now. And it is actually a good thing he did that, because there are 2 pit traps in that hallway. One right here, and one right here. So totally avoidable pit traps, but at least the heroes know where they are now so that they can avoid them. Alright, that takes us to the monster's turn. So unfortunately, since Hogard opened that door, we've got a whole bunch of monsters that need to do stuff. So first off, let's have this ocean orc move up here to attack Hogard. Now, as I mentioned, ocean monsters are fast, but they have kind of weak attack. So this orc swings its sword, hitting Hogard with a 1. He's got decent defense, doesn't he? Yes, he does. Hogard attempts to defend and does block the attack. Excellent. Let's also bring this archer into range. Let's see, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll keep the archer kind of back, but in range to fire. The orc puts an arrow in its bow and fires at Hogard, hitting him with a 2. He blocks the attack. Yes, that's a dwarf you're swinging at right there. He is not likely to get hit too hard. Let's review the ocean orc movement stat here real fast. It is 13. So with this other guy, we're going to get a little creative. Now, monsters can't move through heroes, but they can open doors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open that door. 8. And this guy's going to attack Robert Tylan, the Berserker. Push the camera back that way a little bit. Yes. The ocean orc, who, interestingly, because I've had this mini for a long time, does not have a weapon because the sword broke. Swings what's left of his sword at the Berserker, hitting him with a 1. How's Robert's defense? Okay. And he blocks the attack, just barely. Now the Wasteland Femur, I think, moves 6. Am I remembering that right? No, only 4. Okay, so I did actually change that a little bit to make him slower. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Monsters don't trigger traps, so it's okay for that guy to be standing on that pit trap. He didn't make it anywhere enough to do anything. And we are going to be back to the hero's turn. I'm going to take off my jacket here real quick. Getting warm. Okay. Back to Robert Tylan, who has now found himself unexpectedly in combat with an orc. Robert Tylan swings his brand new battle axe at the orc, hitting it with a 2. The orc attempts to defend and does not. Our first death of the quest. An ocean orc. Robert Tylan is then able to move, except that I just rolled combat dice. There we go. Okay, and he might as well check out the last of our open doors here, since that orc opened it for us. Now Robert Tylan can actually see down that hallway. And down this hallway is another kind of short little bit with a door right here. Okay, how worried is he about traps in that little hallway right there? He doesn't have the action to search for it, but is he going to stop? Yes, he is. Now we can go ahead and move him one more. He knows this trap isn't space. Wow, this space isn't trapped. I'm not doing good at the talking thing tonight. Jeez. Okay, so he doesn't have the action to actually search, but he's going to stop right there. This takes us to Gramina, who is up here at the top of the room, and we need to determine what she's going to do. The thing that makes the most sense right now is for her to search that for secret doors, because if there aren't any, then this northern door is kind of pointless. So let's go ahead and have her search for secret doors. This search is going to apply to the hallway all around that central room, and in that area there are no secret doors. So indeed, that upper hallway is kind of useless. So let's see where she's going to go. I'd say what makes the most sense is that she needs to come down here to help Hogard, but we will card this. So let's see. Is she going to go with Mordecai, go with Robert, go with Hogard, go with Hogard? Okay, she's going with Robert. She's like, you're the one who opened the door, man. You can deal with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And her last movement is 8. And this right here triggers her trapsmith skill. There is a trap right next to her. So I think it would be smart for her to search for traps. Let's see what she's going to do. No, she doesn't have a second action. She already searched for secret doors. So she knows there's a trap there. I just don't have to put one down or tell her what it is. All right, that takes us to Mordecai, who is just about off camera. Let's go ahead and activate our second board camera so that we can see what Mordecai's up to a little bit better. There we go. Okay, Mordecai did not search this hallway for anything, so let's start the turn off with that. Is he going to search for traps, search for secret doors, or continue his movement down the hallway? He is going to search for secret doors in this little area, and this is basically just the 2 squares, the one he's standing on and the one next to him. There are no secret doors. Okay, Mordecai, traps or movement. He's also going to do traps in the same area, and this is again applying to the square he's standing on and the one in front of him. No traps. But that's a smart move there, especially since we just saw that Gramina's got a trap in front of her door. Somehow he doesn't. All right, back over here to Hogard, who's in a little bit of trouble. It could be worse, but it's not good. All right, Hogard, let's get rid of that ocean orc. Hogard swings his brand new battle axe at the orc, hitting it with a 3, which is a skilled strike for an orc. That means this guy is super dead. And there he goes. All right, Hogard, what are we doing with the second action? He already knows that this hallway isn't trapped other than the 2 avoidable pit traps. Is he going to search for secret doors or move out there? He's going to search. They're doing all the searches today. In this double wide hallway, essentially here in front of him and all the way down to the end of it here, no secret doors. This brings us back to the monster's turn, and we are looking at the only 2 monsters on the board, this Femur and this Orc Archer. So let's get the Femur moving. 1, 2. The Femur swings its axe at Hogard, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. That might penetrate a dwarf's defense. But it doesn't. Just barely. Hogard's doing really good this quest. Let's hope these lucky dice rolls hold, but I bet they won't. The Orc Archer puts an arrow in his bow and fires at the dwarf, missing entirely. Woo! All right, so let's go back to Robert Tylan, who would be smart to search for traps here because they know there's one in the hallway. Now Gramina could disarm it, so Robert Tylan's not going to be able to do anything else really. Yeah, let's go ahead and force a trap search here because they know there's something in there. The trap that is directly in front of that door is a pit trap, just like this. There's nothing Robert Tylan can do about that. It's not smart for him to try and jump over it. He could jump over it, but it's not necessarily a smart move. So let's see, is he going to search this hallway for secret doors, or is he going to just leave this room to Gramina and leave and go do something else? He's going to do that. He's going to go ahead and leave this for Gramina, and he is going to head down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So he's headed towards the battle, which makes sense. Speaking of Gramina, it is now her turn, so we might as well see if we can get rid of that trap. Now, Gramina is a dwarf who, of course, has a natural ability to disarm traps, but also, because she has been working on building her machinery skill set, she actually has a pretty easy time with traps. So we're going to move her onto this pit trap and roll a combat dice, and essentially, if this is a skull or a white shield, she's done it. If it's a black shield, which is only a 1/6 chance, she falls in the trap. Here we go. Oh, it's a black shield. Darn it. Here I thought Gramina was going to be doing a little bit better. Unfortunately, Gramina fails at disarming the trap, slips and falls into it, suffering 1 body point of damage. This puts her to 9 points. Unfortunately, this is also going to end her turn, because that was both her actions. Movement, attempting to disarm a trap. She literally only had a 1/6 chance at failing that. Dang it. All right, Mordecai the Wizard. Over here, he is headed over into this room. All the searches are done. Let's go ahead and roll in there. Yeah, 7. He is going to open the door into this small room. There are no further doors, and in fact, it appears that there is nothing else in this room. So what are we going to do? Are we going to search for traps, search for secret doors, continue the movement for the purpose of searching for treasure? He's going to do that last one. There's really no point in doing anything other than moving on to that first square, which luckily is not trapped. And then he is going to search this room for treasure. Let's see what he finds. Mordecai finds himself drawn to an odd statue in the back of the room. The statue depicts a skinny, human-like creature sitting cross-legged with its hand outstretched and smiling a creepy smile. Before he can stop himself, he grabs the statue's hand. He hears a click, and the statue's mouth opens and spills out 35 gold coins. Ooh, wasn't sure where that was going. That puts us up to 355 coins. Don't let me fool you, I wrote that card. I knew exactly where it was going. It said 35 coins right at the top. But we gotta build the suspense. All right, that was both of his actions, so that is going to bring us back over to Hogard the Dwarf, who is in combat with a Wasteland Femur. Let's see if he can knock this guy out. Femurs generally are not easy monsters, but he's got a pretty strong weapon, so he shouldn't have too much of a problem. Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting the Femur with a 2. The Femur attempts to defend, but does not, which means it is dead. I'm going to review stats real quick just to make sure I'm right. Yes, that indeed is correct. Battle axe coming in handy. All right, there's no more searching to be done, so Hogard might as well move down this hallway. He's going to move 1, 2, and 3 right up to that orc archer that's been shooting at him. And it is now the monster's turn. The only monster we have on the board is that orc archer. Now that archer attacks close range, but it's bad. It's not very good attack, so he might as well move 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much as far back as he can, and shoot at Hogard from there. We still moved him off camera. There we go. So that he can attack with his full amount and potentially stay away from the dwarf if he doesn't get a big movement roll. The orc puts an arrow in its bow and fires, hitting Hogard with a 2. Hogard attempts to defend and does not, takes both hits. This drops him to 9 body points. Ouch. All right, back to the heroes though. We are actually at Robert Tylan, the Berserker, who is standing there. We might as well keep him coming down this way because we knew he was headed to help Hogard. He can pretty easily avoid these pit traps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Unfortunately, does not quite reach that orc. And the Berserker class is not allowed to have long range, so he's got to be close range in order to hit that guy. Didn't quite get there. Okay, back up here, Gramina. could crawl out of this if she wanted to. So when a hero falls into a pit trap, they are allowed to just crawl out of it on the next turn. However, if she wants to disarm it, she needs to attempt to disarm again, which means she could keep falling into the trap, potentially until she's dead. But again, she's only got a 1/6 chance of not disarming this. So fingers crossed. Here she goes. As long as this isn't a black shield, she's good. Okay, she's good. Second try, she manages to get rid of that pit trap so she won't have to step on it again, and nobody else will have to step on it if there's something interesting going on in this room. Now that was an action, so let's go ahead and see. She's going to open the door into this room to find it mysteriously empty. So what is she going to do with her second action? Search for traps, search for secret doors, or move in there so that she can search for treasure on the next turn? She's going to search for secret doors. Yeah, that's her thing. There are no secret doors in that room, making this a kind of weird dead end, but it'll be a neat treasure search, so at least there's that. Jumping over to Mordecai the Wizard, he is in this small room and he has searched it for treasure. We're going to go ahead and force a secret door search next, because if there's no secret doors, this was also kind of a dead end and he might as well go somewhere else. Oh, we got our mandatory spam chat already. A little bit later than normal. What's going on, spam bots? You're usually more on it than this. You're late. You're late getting here. How are we going to get viruses on our computer when you're coming in so late? Sheesh. Technology is just ruining everything. Okay. Mordecai searches for secret doors in this room and finds nothing. Now, he could still search it for traps, but he's already stepped on every relevant square. He doesn't need to. So apparently, the direction Hogard is going is the direction we need to be moving, because there doesn't seem to be much anywhere else, unless, no, Grameen already searched for trap doors up there, secret doors out there, and there was nothing. So he needs to get down where Hogard is. We're not going to go down this way because of that pit trap. He's just going to go back into the central room. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, this brings us to Hogard. Go ahead and move our camera down here to him. Now he can fire back at that orc. He doesn't actually have to move to get to it, but he attacks better at close range. So let's just roll the dice and see what he gets. Is he going to make it to the orc? Yeah, he could. Let's get him up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we'll go ahead and have him attack this orc, but from his current position, he can also see this bottom hallway, so we need to reveal that. But let's go ahead and get the orc attacked while we're standing here. Hogard swings his battle axe, but misses. Wow, didn't see that coming. We gotta roll out all these black shields. I'm rolling my black shield dice and they're just coming back up as black shields again. There we go. Okay, so that left this guy alive, but let's go ahead and zoom up here just a little bit so that we can reveal what's down this hallway now that Hogard can see it. I guess Robert Tylan could see it too. We should have done this back at the beginning of the turn. There is a wall here. There's a door leading into this green room. There's a door leading into this yellow room. Coming down the other side, let's actually activate the other camera for that, because this camera can't quite reach all the way over there. Here we go. So this hallway here is that same hallway we were looking at, but from the other angle. Down the other side, there is a wall here. So this is a really long hallway. And there is a door here. Yeah. Let me rearrange my skulls. I kind of bumped the pile there. So lots of ways to go in this really long hallway. Now, Hogard can't do anything else right at the moment, but we know now that there is lots of stuff going on down here. We are at the monster's turn, and we are looking at the only monster on the board, this Orc Archer that has somehow managed to survive a lot of turns. And we are going to, again, move this guy away so that he can fire more effectively. Now, he has two potential targets. Who's he going to shoot at? he's actually going to shoot at the Berserker instead of Hogard this time. So he puts his bow, puts an arrow in his bow and fires at the Berserker, hitting him with a 1. Robert attempts to defend and does not, taking that hit, bringing him down to 10 body points. Hope everybody's doing good out there. We got a couple of viewers. I imagine one of them's Justin, who's probably sleeping. But hope you're enjoying what you're watching. It's a Saturday night, so people are probably out doing stuff. What's wrong with them? Saturday nights are for Hero Quest. Don't people know that? Somebody get the word out there. Okay, back to the heroes. It's actually Robert's turn, so he can essentially just attack right back. Now, we haven't searched this bottom hallway for traps, but these 2 squares were included in the trap search for the double wide hallway, so he can pretty safely stand on this square without worrying about it. So he can move and attack. Robert swings his battle axe, hitting the Orc Archer with a 1. This Orc Archer must be really fast. He seems to be hard to hit. The Archer, however, does not defend and dies. Okay, that's it for his turn. That means we need to get over to Gramina, who is up here checking out this kind of yellowish brown room. She knows there's no secret doors, so is she going to search for traps or walk in there to search for treasure? She's doing traps, and there are none in that room, which means all that we need to do in there is search for treasure. So she's going to spend her second action just stepping right there on that first square. Next turn we come back, we'll start off with the treasure search. Okay, Morkai. Get him moving down towards that hallway. Not very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. So he's headed down towards Robert and Hogard, but didn't quite make it. Hogard, meanwhile, has a few options that he can do right now. He can search this hallway for traps, search it for secret doors, or just go ahead and start moving down it. And he's just going to move down. Okay. Which way are you going, Hogard? He is going to go right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is he going to stop at this door or keep going? He's going to keep going. 8. Kind of silly. He probably should have stopped at that door, right? Okay, he's going to have to come back down that way probably, so it's all good. Now that he is here, he luckily did not step on any trapped spaces, but he needs to do one of those searches now that he's here. Traps or secret doors? He's going for secret doors. Now this is going to apply to this entire hallway. So, we moved him off camera. From this wall, all the way down this hallway, and eventually getting to this wall, there are no secret doors. No monsters on the board at the moment, so we are back to Robert Tylan. Actually, I'm going to keep him on this camera. There he is there. So let's get him moving. He's already facing this way. So is he going to search for traps or move? He is going to go ahead and search this hallway for traps. So the same area I just described, actually no traps in that hallway, believe it or not. So let's get him moving. Oh, 1, 2. He's not in a hurry to get to that door. What do we got? Gramina. Up here all by her lonesome is going to search this room for treasure. And let's see what she finds. Gramina hears the click of a spring-loaded trap and manages to duck just in time as a hidden arrow fires just over her head. In the cubby where the arrow was hidden, she finds a small pile of gems worth 50 coins. Excellent. So, this actually is good for her because her coin hunter skill means that she actually found 75 coins instead of 50. That is going to complicate the math here a little bit. See, that's going to put us to 360, which should mean that we go up to 430 coins. I need to hire a math person in my chat. I'm just going to start telling you guys what the two numbers are, and then you guys can throw the total in the chat so that I don't have to do math. Okay, somebody remind me of that. That seems like a good idea. Okay, Gramina, now that she has searched that area for everything it can be searched for, she just needs to move back down towards the other heroes. So let's get her moving back in the right direction here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And she's going to be headed down that way. All right, our wizard Mordecai is also headed down the hallway. He needs to avoid those pit traps, which shouldn't be too hard. He is moving 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now he is in a position that he could search that hallway, but all the searching has been done, so no need to worry about that. We are back to Hogard, our dwarf, who is down over here, and he is headed towards this door into the green room. Get him moving there, not very quickly, but that's all right. 1, 2. He's going to open the door into this green room and find no further doors, but some monsters. Looks like the kind of monsters you do not want to run into. There are 3 skeletons. Now these guys are pushovers. These guys aren't really a big deal. Second easiest monster in the game to get rid of, but still. There is also in this room a deep skeleton, which is a variant of the skeleton that has spent a lot of time down in the deepest, darkest tunnels. It can't see very well, but its attacks are very strong. This is also a mini that I have had for a long, long time, and like 12 or 13-year-old me made an attempt at painting it. Yeah. Not really sure exactly what I was thinking. This mini is going to be repainted much, much better by my wife at some point in the future, but it should be easy for us to remember which one's the deep skeleton. And finally in this room is a brand new type of monster that we have not seen yet, but will become more and more important as we continue through our campaign. This big, scary looking guy right here is a Doomguard. Now they look a lot like Chaos Warriors. These are Zargon's kind of top lieutenants. These are the big guys. They have really nasty stats, and we're going to start seeing them a little bit more often the further into the campaign we get. But this, I think, is the first time we'll have seen one. So Hogard has definitely opened himself up a room full of trouble. What's he going to do now? Is he going to stop here and search for traps, or is he going to wade straight into that battle and start swinging? He's going to search for traps. There are no traps in that room, Hogard, and you've now opened yourself up to attack. Monster's turn. We are looking at all the monsters on the board right now. Now they can't move through Hogard, so it's only one of them that's going to come up here to attack, but it could be any of them, because the Doomguard could move through that skeleton. So is it going to be, let's see, we have 5 options. We're going to go 1, 2, yeah, 3. It is actually going to be the Doomguard. 1, 2. So the most dangerous guy is coming right up to take care of this problem immediately. Let me review the Doomguard stats. There they are. 5 attack, 5 defense, and 4 body points. Ouch. All right, the Doomguard swings its massive axe at Hogard, hitting him with a 3. I'm surprised it wasn't worse than that. Hogard attempts to defend and actually manages to block all 3 of those skulls. All right, go Hogard. All right, we are back over to Robert Tylan the Berserker, who is on our other camera right at the moment. He is right here. Now, despite the fact that we've just opened up a whole bunch of trouble over there, I don't think Hogard is out of his depth, especially if we send somebody over there. I think Robert can continue moving the direction he's moving. Here he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We need to move that camera just a little bit so we can see what's going on here. Robert is going to open the door into the blue room and find an additional door, a table. Now this is an ancient ruined temple, so I think we can assume that it's not out of line to put a carpet down for this. And the table, which will be the Rise of the Dread Moon / Mage of the Mirror variant table with elven woodwork on it. Really neat. By the way, the table is purely decorational, doesn't do anything. Oh, there's actually another door in here too. Now this is awkward, okay? So the door is here, And because it's on the corner there, we have to remove kind of an odd amount of walls. We can put a replacement wall here, but we're all just gonna have to imagine that this little space right here is also a wall. So everybody use your imaginations there. Someday we will have that problem solved with a few little shorter walls, but for right now, we're just gonna have to pretend that that is also closed off. Also in this room is 2 mountain orcs.
Will that work?
No.
Oh.
2 mountain orcs, here and here. And also an ocean abomination. Feels like we haven't been seeing abominations a huge amount recently. These are newer HeroQuest monsters that are not quite as scary as they look. These monsters were created by magic, and while they have a pretty decent attack, they have weak constitution because they weren't put together very well, so it's not super hard to kind of knock them apart. Okay, Robert Tylan, are we stopping here to search for traps, or are we wading into battle? He is going to stop and search for traps. I'm surprised. They're being really good about that this time, although sometimes I do wish they'd just go in there and attack. There are no traps in this room. Okay, Gramina. Need to move this camera over here to her. She is going to continue her movement down towards the other heroes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Nothing more she can do. And Mordecai is also on camera right here. Now we need to split these 2 up and send one that way to help Hogard and the other one that way to help Robert. So we need to see who's going to do what. Mordecai is going to move here 7. So is he going left or right? He is going right. He's going to help Hogard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I know we just moved him off camera. Go ahead and push the camera over here. So he didn't quite get there enough to help. Unless, does he have anything that can boost Hogard? Not really at the moment. There's nothing that he's going to be able to do that's not going to be bad news for Hogard. He's definitely got some stuff he can do to those monsters, excuse me, but he can't quite see them yet. Okay, Hogard is now where we are. So let's see if he can do some damage on that Doomguard. He did such an excellent job at blocking, and yeah, why not? You know what? Hogard has a potion of strength that he might as well. This is the hardest monster any of the heroes have fought so far in this entire campaign. So now would be a good time, I think, to give himself a little bit of an extra edge. The potion of strength will allow him to roll 2 extra attack dice just for this one attack. So we're going to erase that off his character sheet and put that card in the treasure discard pile. That means just for this one attack, he's going to get to swing 6 dice. Hogard swings his extra strength battle axe. Oh, jeez, and hits the Doomguard with a 2. Sometimes more dice is not better. The Doomguard attempts to defend. Blocks one, but not the other. I'm surprised that wasn't worse. I expected it to block both. So at least he landed a single damage on the guy. With Hogard's other action, he can go ahead and search the screen room for secret doors and find none. Alright, monster's turn. We've got a few more monsters on the board than normal this turn, but we're already pointed here, so let's take care of that. The Doomguard swings its axe at Hogard. Ouch, hitting him with a 4. That's a little bit more like the damage I expected to see on the last turn. Why couldn't Hogard have rolled that? The dwarf attempts to defend the attack and does not defend a single one. Taking all 4 hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, dropping him to 5 body points. It's a good thing he's got the wizard, the only one with the ability to heal anybody this quest, coming to help him. They might have some issues with this guy. On the other side of the board, we also have some monsters here. See if we can get a little closer. This camera doesn't like to stay down like this. Yeah, it's a little better than it was. We have a few options as to monsters that could come over here to attack Robert Tylan. Again, no monster can walk out this. Remember, this is a wall. So let's see which of these monsters is coming. It's actually going to be this orc here. 1, 2, 3. is the first one to take some initiative. Swings its sword at the Berserker, hitting him with a 1. Which he defends, but just barely. Alright, we are actually back to Robert's turn, so we might as well see if he can get rid of that guy since he's there. I don't think this is really worth using his skill yet. So he swings his brand new battle axe at the orc, hitting it with a 3, which is a skilled strike for an orc. Super dead. Out he goes. There we go. Need a drink here real quick. Excellent. Robert now has another action. Is he going to search for secret doors or move in there? He is going to search for secret doors in this blue room and find none. I figured so, yes. There's not very many places it could go. Always safe to check, though. All right, Grimina. Let's go ahead and move this camera over to Grimina because she is going to be coming down that way to help Robert. Ooh, not very quickly though. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Puts her in the hallway, but there is nothing else she can do with her other action. I'm going to go ahead and move this camera back over here because we're going to need it there for the monster's turn. And we will come over here to Morkai. Morkai, our wizard, is coming to help Hogard. And we're at a little bit of a dilemma here as to whether he should go ahead and cast a healing spell on Hogard or try to attack the Doomguard. Because either one would be beneficial. And Hogard is in a place that if the Doomguard got a critical hit and Hogard didn't defend, he'd be dead. That probably is our deciding factor right there. It's a shame, because I'd rather have that Doomguard be attacked and a little closer to dead, but we don't want Hogard to bite it. So I think that's what we're going to do. Morkai is going to go ahead and cast the heal body spell on Hogard, healing him 4 body points. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This brings him back up to 9 body points. And then it is Hogard's turn. Let's hope he can land a better hit on this Doomguard than he did last time. Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting the Doomguard with a 2. Gotta hit the guy a little harder than that. Let's just hope he doesn't defend. Good, he does not defend, taking both of those hits. However, he is still not quite dead. I believe he still has 1 body point left. Right? Yes, still 1 body point left. This is not an easy monster to kill, this Doomguard guy right here. So Hogard's doing his best, and there is nothing else Hogard can do, which takes us to the monster's turn. So let's go ahead and retaliate here. The Doomguard swings its axe at the dwarf, missing him entirely. Okay, that's helpful. Didn't see that one coming. And over here on the other side of the map, we have a couple more monsters who can attempt to attack Robert Tylan. This time it's going to be the Ocean Abomination coming over here. Let me go ahead and review the stats just real fast. Yes, that's what I thought. The Ocean Abomination stabs its spear at the Berserker, hitting him with a 1. The Berserker does not defend, dropping him to 9 body points. He's actually, I thought he was lower than that. He's not actually off too bad. Back to the hero's turn. We're actually starting with Robert Tylan here, so he can just go ahead and retaliate himself. Robert swings his battle axe at the Abomination, hitting it with a 2. I know I just looked at this thing's stats. There we go. That might take it out. The Abomination attempts to defend and does not. He does actually manage to get rid of it. Nothing else to search for in this room until all the monsters are dead, so we might as well move him in there. 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4 moves him right up to that other mountain orc. And then we're going to swing the camera over here to Grimina, the Dwarven Explorer, who is headed down this hallway to help him. Not that he needs help. He's doing pretty good on his own, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. She almost makes it there. Oh, we moved her straight off camera. Now, she does have a bow, but again, considering this is actually a wall, even though it doesn't look like it, I don't think she can see that orc. Back over here, Morkai can actually do some damage now, hopefully. He's got quite a few spells that could help us here. He has 2 sleep spells, 2 genie spells, and a tempest, which would all be helpful against that Doomguard. I think Genie is probably going to be the most effective, so let's go ahead and do that. Mordecai the Wizard casts the Genie spell. A Genie appears in front of him, and Mordecai directs it at the Doomguard. The Genie attacks, hitting the Doomguard with a 2. Again, this is a lot of dice to be throwing to only get 2 skulls. The Doomguard attempts to defend and blocks both hits. That's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you cast a really powerful spell at somebody and it just doesn't do a thing. Whoops. Luckily, we are now at Hogard the Dwarf, who can also attack. That thing's only got 1 body point left. Surely we can get rid of it. Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting the Doomguard with a 2. What is it with you guys in 2s? I guess it's better than 1. The Doomguard attempts to defend. Blocks one but not the other, so Hogard does finally manage to take it out. The historic first kill of a Doomguard in our campaign. As I mentioned when we opened that door, the Doomguard are going to become more common as we move through the campaign. They are one of Zargon's scarier monsters. Not quite a boss, but I'll be honest, they've got better stats than some of the bosses we've seen already. So, whew. I just realized that the one camera is directly between my face cam and my face. So sorry about that. I'm gonna have to start like looking down under here to talk to you guys. Hogard's got 1 more action left. It would be kind of foolish to walk in there because he would immediately be surrounded by monsters. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and forfeit his second action. Monster's turn, however. We're already pointed here. Let's see which one of these 4 skeletons is headed towards him. It is going to be the guy that's pretty much right in front of him. Now this is a regular run-of-the-mill skeleton, not a huge threat like the Doomguard was. The skeleton swings its scythe, hitting Hogard with a 1. He attempts to defend, and doesn't. Wow, I guess he was still kind of tired from fighting that Doomguard. He did not see the skeleton coming. This drops him to 8 body points. Over on the other side of the map, we have this Mountain Orc right here, attacking Robert the Berserker. The Mountain Orc swings its cleaver, hitting the Berserker with a 1. He attempts to defend, and does. They're all doing fairly good with that sort of stuff tonight. Back to the hero's turn. It is indeed Robert's turn, so let's go ahead and retaliate. Brand new battle axe, swinging at that Mountain Orc, hitting it with a 3, which is a skilled strike, which means super dead. This orc is obliterated. I see we just got a couple new viewers. How's it going? Don't be afraid to throw something in the chat and get some conversation going while we play. If you got any suggestions or questions about what's going on, feel free to ask. Happy to explain anything. Oh right, I forgot again, the camera's right in my face. If you have anything you want to say, don't be afraid to do that. Crit, yes, Merlin is here. How's it going, Merlin? Yes, indeed. Okay, Robert Tylan can now use his second action to search this room for treasure. He might as well. It's going. I feel that, man. I feel that. I didn't put my armory away earlier. Let me get rid of that stack of papers. Let's see what Robert finds in that room. He found a potion of healing. Good, that'll be handy. We did not have near enough healing in this quest, so that is going to come really in handy. Okay. Gramina is hanging out here in the hallway. She should finally be able to come into the room, you know, just in time for all the monsters to be dead. 1, 2, and 3. Now, she might as well be heading for a door, so is she going to head for this door or that door? She is going for that door. What did I just say? 1, 2, 3? Gosh, my memory is so garbage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. She opens the door up into this yellow room, where she finds an additional door, another door, and 3 monsters. What do we have here? A wasteland orc. Wasteland monsters are slow, but they have higher defense. Right there. An ocean abomination. One of the same things we saw a couple of rooms ago. Fast monsters with kind of low attack. And a Dread Warrior. So these guys are definitely not fun monsters, not the kind of thing that you want to run into super often, but not quite as strong as that Doom Guard that Hogard just defeated. Still not necessarily a fun room to have opened. Grimina, what are we doing? Are we going to stop and search for traps or try to attack one of these guys? She's going to try to attack one of these guys. Now, I think it would be foolish for her to walk into the room because she would absolutely be surrounded. Luckily, she has a crossbow. She can't reach the Dread Warrior, but she could attack either one of these guys. She is going to go for the Abomination, the closer target. Grimina loads an arrow into her crossbow and fires at the Abomination, hitting it with a 2. Now, these things do have kind of weak constitution because they were created by magic and not very well. So it is pretty easy to knock these things apart. Let me review the stat here. Yeah, I'd say she's got a good chance of this being a kill. The Abomination tries to defend and does not. She indeed does get rid of it. Nice going, Grimina. That's weird to say. I'm not used to complimenting her. Jumping back over here, we've still got a pretty skeletal battle going on, and we have Mordecai here, who is trying to get rid of this skeleton. Now, I'll be honest, he's got some spells here that he could use, but they're kind of overkill on a skeleton. These guys aren't really all that hard, so let's just have him attack normal. He sends a blast of energy from his wand at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1, which does indeed get rid of it. Okay, I think they're safe enough to go ahead and go in there now. I think they know there's no traps. If both of them are in there, neither of them are going to get surrounded. So let's just go ahead and move Mordecai 1, 2, and 3 into this room. So he's in the corner there, so he can only even possibly get 2 monsters attacking him at once. But Hogard can move in there too, so it's not really a big deal. Hogard's got a plenty good movement to get up to any of these 3 skeletons. Now this guy, which in case you're watching now and you weren't before, is a pathetic attempt by my like 12 or 13-year-old self to paint one of these guys. It is a deep skeleton rather than a regular skeleton, which means slower movement, higher attack. But it's not painted that way on purpose. It will eventually be painted better. Which one of these monsters is Hogard going for? He is actually going to go 1, 2 right here for this central skeleton. Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting the skeleton with a 2, which it does not defend. It's out of there. What do we have left? Am I really trying to fit 4 skeletons into this drawer? I guess I am. Okay. Oh, hey, Merlin, good news. I figured out today that theoretically, in-person guests should work, and I think we've got the equipment to do it. At least OBS was able to handle all of the camera streams at once. I now need to get the cameras actually put up. So hopefully you and Justin Pollitt and anybody else that might be interested can start coming on the show to control the heroes for quests every once in a while, which will be a lot of fun. Probably not all at once. We might just do one guest at a time, but it is theoretically possible now, which is exciting. Monster's turn. We've got some stuff going on here. So first off, we've got these 2 skeletons. We'll just go ahead and have them attack the obvious targets. Regular skeleton here swings its scythe at Mordecai, hitting him with a 1. He's got 3 defense, right? Yes, he does. I'm throwing dice. They're going everywhere. He's blocked the attack, but it doesn't matter because I've lost the dice. Never mind, I found it. There we go. He blocked the attack, just barely. Merlin says, that sounds cool. Awesome, man. I'm looking forward to that. It's been a while. For people watching that don't know, Merlin and I used to play this game at least once a week. I mean, we've been doing that for, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 years now? We've been getting together like once a week to play this, and we haven't now for a little while. So that'll be nice to get that back up and going. The deep skeleton also is going to move over here to Hogard. I think they can only move 2, but that's all he needs to move. Yes, 2. The deep skeleton swings its scythe at Hogard, hitting him with a 2. Hogard defends just barely. Yeah, we've been playing consistently since Avalon Hill released their version of HeroQuest. Like the day that the Mythic tier came in the mail for me, I'm pretty sure Merlin came over and we set it up and played. I'm pretty sure that's how that went. Over here on the other side of the board, we have a couple of monsters here, one of which can go ahead and come up here to attack Gramina. It's going to be the Dread Warrior. Dread Warriors, again, are pretty dangerous monsters. We have had one hero death in the campaign so far, and it was by a Dread Warrior. So let's hope that that doesn't happen again. Gramina hasn't gotten hit yet, though. Oh, she fell in that pit trap, though, so I guess she is down a body point. The Dread Warrior swings its mace, hitting her with a 3. Ouch. She attempts to defend and doesn't defend a single one. Man, 1, 2, 3. This drops her down to 6 body points. Sometimes the dice do this. It's so weird. Gives them all skulls when they defend and all shields when they attack. It's weird how that works. Okay, we are also in a weird predicament because it is Robert Tylen's turn, but the Berserker class is not allowed to have long range. He can't get into that room, so he actually can't help Gramina right now. So unless he were to walk up there and give her that potion of healing he just found, which I think is probably not strictly necessary right at the moment, she's still got 6 body points. He might as well go ahead and open the door into the red room. Unless she starts getting in trouble, I think that's going to be the way to go. So we don't want to skip his turn. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to go ahead and open this door. Okay, a couple things we can do here. So no further doors in this room. Now that that door is out of the way, we can go ahead and put another wall right here so that we can stop pretending there's one there and we can actually see one. In this new room is another table. So we'll go ahead and put down a carpet card here. By the way, credit where credit's due. I've talked a little bit about these dirt/carpet cards that help me have the furniture take up the proper amount of space on the 3D board, which is way bigger than a normal HeroQuest board. The carpet card was totally Merlin's idea. So thanks for that, Merlin. I was suggesting some other weird thing that I thought was a good idea at the time, and then I think he just said, like, you know, those spaces are like the size of a playing card. We just lay a playing card down. Yeah, perfect. Literally perfect. Okay, table, by the way, is decorative. Doesn't do anything, but it adds to the vibe, which is neat. We have 4 monsters in this room. There are 2 mountain goblins. These are both painted goblins as well. Shout out to my wife Savannah, who does painting streams right here on the same channel at midnight on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. If you want to come check out how she's getting along painting the literal more than 1,000 minis that we have to get done for this, then definitely come hang out with her tomorrow night. We also have an ocean goblin in this room. Ocean monsters, again, move very fast but have a little bit less in the way of attack. This guy is also painted. Kind of blue-skinned guy there. And finally, there is a deep orc in this room. This guy is not painted. However, deep monsters have slow movement but high attack. So, he's a regular old mini for this guy. Right there. So Robert Tylen has also kind of opened up a room full of uh-oh. Now, is he going to stop there and search for traps? Yes, he is. He's been doing that pretty consistently this quest, which is surprising. No traps in that room, but that does mean he cannot attack yet. Gramina. She needs to see if she can do something about this Dread Warrior. She doesn't really have anything she can do to give herself extra attack, so I guess what we got to do is swing. She swings her broadsword at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 1. Come on, Gramina. You got to do better than that. The Dread Warrior defends the attack. Now, she can still do a little bit of searching in this room since she is adjacent to it. Again, the heroes in this land are born with what is called warrior sense, which means if she focuses her energy, she can detect things like traps or secret doors in that room without having to physically search for one. Let's see which one of those 2 things she's going to do. Unsurprisingly to long-term viewers of the channel, she is searching for secret doors. However, she finds nothing. Over on the other side of the board, we have this room that used to be a pretty scary threat and is now looking not too bad. We are at Morkai. I keep almost calling him Merlin. Darn it. Mordecai swings his wooden staff at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1. The skeleton does not defend, so it is dead. I don't believe there's anything left for Mordecai to search for in this room. Right. Somebody needs to search it for treasure, but we can't do that till all the monsters are dead. So they know there's nothing left in this room. Mordecai, again, almost said Merlin. Mordecai needs to head out and either check out what's in this room or go help the other 2 heroes that have just opened up big old pots of trouble. So let's see what he is going to do with this movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we going to stop at the door? Yes, he is. We're just opening all the doors. In this new room, there are no further doors, but there is a mummy. Can you guys tell that we're getting to the end of this book? They're kind of being relentless with the difficult monsters here. There's a mummy hanging out in the corner here. Merlin would have issues shooting at that, but he doesn't have an action to do anything about it anyway. So I guess we will just let him hang out right there in the doorway. Darn it, I did say Merlin. Yeah, Mordecai. Darn it. Okay, back over here with Hogard. We are going to have him attack this deep skeleton. He swings his battle axe, hitting the deep skeleton with a 2. The skeleton does not defend, which means it is dead. Nice. Deep skeleton out of there. This allows Hogard to spend his second action searching this room for treasure. And I believe this is the goal of the quest. Am I right there? Yes, the first hero to search for treasure in this room will find the Spirit Blade artifact. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. This is why we came into the quest, so that we could find this thing. This magical broadsword has an eerie handle of carved bone. When attacking with this sword, roll 3 attack dice. If attacking an undead monster, roll 4 attack dice. Wizards must have combat level 10 to wield the Spirit Blade. Yes, so Hogard could use this. However, it would be a downgrade for him from the battle axe we just bought him. Somebody needs to wield this, and of everybody in the quest that we have tonight, unless either Robert or Hogard are going to pass their battle axe off to a different hero, it's actually Grimina that makes the most sense to take it. And I think we ought to do that, because Grimina actually cannot have a weapon that hits harder than 3 unless she has something special like this. So, as weird and kind of poetic as it is, that the character full of in-jokes that we added kind of as a joke to this campaign ends up with one of the strongest artifacts that the game has to offer. So we'll wait for Hogard to get near her to hand that off. For now, he has used both his actions, and it is the monster's turn. While we are pointed over here, let's go ahead and take care of this mummy, who's going to jump out from the corner and yell happy birthday. But it's not Mordecai's birthday. Unfortunately, what the mummy got him for his birthday was a fist. The mummy hits Mordecai with a 2. Mordecai attempts to defend and only defends 1. At least he defended 1. That's the first damage Mordecai's taken. He is down to 9 body points. Over on the other side of the board, we have a much more dangerous situation for several reasons. We are going to start off with the Dread Warrior attacking Grimina. Now, last turn, this was a pretty wicked attack. Let's hope this turn goes a little better. The Dread Warrior swings its mace, hitting Grimina with a 3. Now, she's got really good defense. She attempts to defend and blocks 2 of the hits, only taking 1. Yes, much better. She is still down to 5 body points, so she's getting to a dangerous point, but she's doing okay. All right, over here in the red room, we have any of these 4 monsters that can potentially come over here. We're going to say hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades. Diamonds means pretty much just the closest monster anyway. Now, this is a mountain goblin, so just kind of regular Hero Quest goblin stats. This goblin swings its claws, hitting Robert Tylan with a 1. Has he got 3 defense? Yes, he does. Which he blocks. Good. So this monster's turn definitely could have gone much worse. We didn't do too bad. Okay, right back to Robert here. Let's see if he can attack that skeleton and get rid of it. He does have a battle axe, so he kind of has no excuse for not killing this guy. Robert Tylan swings his battle axe, hitting the goblin with a 2, which is a skilled strike. which, just in case you're a brand new viewer, means that he rolled more skulls than that monster could possibly defend, even if it got the best possible result. That makes that monster super dead. Out it goes. One viewer did not like that. We lost a viewer in the middle of that explanation. No super dead. Nope, if monsters are getting super dead, I'm out of here. Robert Tylen, is he going to search this room for secret doors or charge in there? He's going to charge in there. That sounds pretty much like a berserker. 1. Okay, strategically, we've got kind of a question to ask here. Let me shuffle my randomizer deck, because it would be smart for him to stand right there. Means he's only going to get hit by 2 monsters on the next turn instead of 3. However, that's not very berserkery. So let's leave this up to chance. Is he going to stand right there for strategy's sake, or is he mad and he's going to attack all those monsters? Yeah, now that's more berserkery. He's just going to go right into the middle of the fray. Let's hope he can survive that on the next turn. But he does have a potion, so he's got some insurance. Okay, also over here, Grimina the Dwarven Explorer is locked in combat with the Dread Warrior, which she has not managed to damage yet. So let's hopefully hope she can get lucky here. She swings her broadsword and misses. Gosh. Ah! Come on, Grimina. You can do this. Where's she at body point wise? Should she be running? Okay, she can't get one shot, so let's leave her there for one more turn, but we might be in trouble here pretty soon. She can, however, use her second action to search this yellow room for traps, and there are no traps in that room. Okie dokie, back over here we are at Mordecai the Wizard, who is fighting a mummy. Now, mummies are not easy monsters to kill, especially for a wizard, so let's go ahead and allow him to use his other genie spell. He had 2 instances of this to use on this quest, and he is going to use this one now. A genie appears in front of Mordecai. He directs the genie at the mummy. The genie attacks immediately, hitting the mummy with a 2. That should have been a little bit better of an attack, honestly, but okay. Still might get rid of it. The mummy blocks 1 and takes the other hit, so not too bad. Especially considering Mordecai can still swing physically as well. With Mordecai's other action, he swings his wooden staff at the mummy, hitting it with a 1. As long as it doesn't defend, he will have gotten rid of it. But it does defend. The dice have turned against the heroes a little bit, I think. We're not getting very lucky rolls. Okay, that was both his actions, so he's done. Hogard, everything's been done in that room now. Let's get him moving. Maybe he can finish this mummy off. 1, 2, 3, 4. From right here, he should be able to use his crossbow to fire at that mummy. Yes, indeed. Hogard locks an arrow into his crossbow and fires, but misses. As I said, the dice have turned against the heroes and have decided that we're going to have a difficult quest ahead. Luckily, believe it or not, this quest is pretty short, so we're actually almost done. Monster's turn. We're already pointing over here. Let's get this mummy attacking. The mummy swings its fist at Mordecai and misses. Well, that was nice of it. I mean, it is Mordecai's birthday, I guess. Or is it? I don't know. Over on the other side of the board, we have, of course, our dangerous battle going on here with the Dread Warrior and Grimina. Let's see if she can get lucky again as far as blocking attacks. The Dread Warrior swings its mace, hitting her with a 2. That's a little bit more lucky. She attempts to defend, but does not defend either hit. This drops her to 3, which means on her next turn, we should probably hit and run. And over here we have this Berserker now about to get surrounded. Let's go ahead and do this. The Ocean Goblin attacks. Again, ocean monsters do not have very much for attack. The Goblin does still manage to hit him with a 1, which he defends. That 1 dice didn't actually go down the tower, but either way he defended. The Deep Orc, that's right, I forgot that was a Deep Orc, swings its axe, but misses. Wow. All right, maybe I'm going to retract what I said about the dice turning against them. And this mountain goblin swings its sword. Oh, come on, dice. Hitting him with a 1, which he does not block. That's kind of surprising. Robert does get a little bit more dangerous the lower on health he gets, though. So honestly, he's not doing too bad. He's still at 8 body points. Okay, it is actually his turn, and we also may want to move him so that he can direct the Dread Warrior's attention after Gramina runs away. Unless she gets a really lucky hit and manages to kill it in one shot, which she could do. Not very likely, but it is possible. So let's see if he can get rid of at least one of these guys before he gets out of here. Who's he going to attack? He's going for that deep orc. That makes sense. It's the one that hits the hardest. Robert swings his battle axe, but misses. Come on, guys. We're almost at the end of the quest. All right, we're going to move him because Gramina needs some help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, Gramina, last chance to get some meaningful damage on this guy before we get out of here. If she does a critical hit and it doesn't defend, she could absolutely one-shot it, but it's not very likely. Gramina swings her broadsword and hits it with a 1. Man, you could have at least gotten a 2. The Dread Warrior attempts to defend and doesn't block the attack. You know what? I'll take it. Whatever. 1 damage is still pretty impressive. And then let's get her out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're just going to move her out into the hallway here because she may indeed have a problem when all of these monsters come out here. She's still definitely going to get hit. Okay. Over on the other side of the hallway, we now have the mummy and Morkai. Morkai is where we're at. Now he's got a Tempest spell, which might help. He's got 2 sleep spells, but that won't have any effect on an undead monster. Let's see if he can whack this guy for that last hit. Morkai swings his wooden staff and misses. Good job. Good job, buddy. Okay, honestly, Hogard's a lot more equipped to deal with this guy. Let's let Morkai come over here to help with the situation that's brewing on the other side of the map. So 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we just barely got him onto the camera there. So we can hopefully have him help out over here a little bit. And then we'll come back over here to Hogard, who's just going to take Morkai's spot right in front of the mummy. Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting the mummy with a 2. He's got a pretty good shot of getting rid of it. The mummy blocks 1, but not the other, which means indeed it is dead. Good. That was both of Hogard's actions, though, so we gotta leave that alone. And Monster's turn over here, still kind of a scary situation. We got everybody moving, and Robert's still gonna get surrounded. So let's start with the Dread Warrior. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The Dread Warrior swings its mace at the Berserker, hitting him with a 2. The Berserker blocks 1, but not the other, dropping him to 7 body points. He's still doing okay. Up here, we have a Wasteland Orc. Now, the Wasteland monsters have extra defense, but they don't move very fast. Let's see, what does this guy move? Only 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Honestly, that's good news. It didn't quite reach the Berserker. But over in this room, we've got 3 monsters that can all move. Let's send the Ocean Goblin after Gramina. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because it will for sure reach her. The Ocean Goblin swings its daggers, hitting Gramina with a 1. But she blocks, just barely. Just barely. 4 dice, and she just barely defended 1 hit. Mountain Goblin over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Swings its sword at Robert's Island, but misses him. And finally, this Deep Orc, which is also pretty slow. Deep Orc only moves 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So also doesn't actually reach anybody. Okay, I'll be honest, that could have been way worse. It's still kind of a scary situation, but the heroes seem to be handling it. It is Robert Tylen's turn, so we now need to determine what is he going to do. It's too bad he can't use his frenzy skill right now. If he were really low on body points, he could do a big wide sweep that would hit both this goblin and the Dread Warrior. So is he going to get rid of monsters that are easier to kill, or is he going to go for the guy that's got more body points? Probably be smarter to go for the Dread Warrior, but we'll go ahead and card it. Between the two monsters that he's standing by, he is going to go for the Dread Warrior. Okay, he swings his battle axe, hitting the Dread Warrior with a 3. That's a good hit. It's probably gone then, right? It attempts to defend and blocks 2 of the hits, only taking 1 damage, meaning no, it is not dead. Ouch. Okay, there is something that we can do about this, though. Robert Tylen is going to use his Enrage skill. As an action, you may lose up to 2 body points to immediately make an attack, even if you have already attacked this turn. Add additional attack dice equal to the number of body points you lose. Very handy of that Berserker skill. Let's go ahead and just take him down by 1 body point, which is going to drop him to 6. Which means he gets to make a second attack against this Dread Warrior, and it's going to be with 5 dice instead of 4. Robert Tylen, enraged, swings his battle axe again, hitting the Dread Warrior with 2. It attempts to defend and blocks them both. Come on! Sometimes that is so frustrating. Blocks them both. Here I thought we were getting somewhere. Okay, Grimina, the explorer, out here in the hallway. Let's see if she can at least get rid of this ocean goblin. She swings her broadsword and misses. Oh boy, maybe we aren't about done. Here I said we were just about done with the quest. Nope, we're gonna be here the rest of the night. No searching can be done in this hallway, so that is unfortunately the only thing that she can do right at the moment. We are now at Merlin, who is just barely on camera. There he is. I said Merlin. Mordecai, here in the corner, I guess so, is going to move up here behind Grimina, and he can also fire at this goblin with his wand. He sends a blast of energy from his oak wand, hitting the goblin with a 1. See, Grimina, that's all you had to do. The goblin is dead. Oh boy. And then we need to come back here to Hogard, who is down over here. This yellow room has not been searched for anything yet. So let's see what Hogard's going to do. Search for traps, search for secret doors, or walk in there to search for treasure. He is going to walk in there to search for treasure. Okay. Which is unfortunate, because right there where he stepped is a pit trap. You always search for traps before you walk into a room. Okay, Hogard has to roll a dice to see if he jumps out of the way of the trap. But he does not. He falls into it and takes 1 body point of damage. Now, I want to review this because in the normal game, that ends your turn, and you don't get to take your second action. But I do not remember if I changed that. Let's make sure before we do anything else. There's Pit of Darkness. Why do we go straight to Spear Trap? What have I done? Have I somehow deleted the Pit Trap explanation? Oh, that would be just like me, wouldn't it? Long Pit Trap, Pit of Darkness, Spear Trap, Slasher Trap, Swinging Blade Trap, Teleport Trap. Yeah, I sure have. Okay, well then I guess we better go by Real Hero Quest rules, which means Hogard's turn is over. I need to make a note of that to fix that in my rule book. I don't know how I managed to delete that. Whoops. Okay, so he's lost the body point, he's in the pit, his turn is done. That means it is the monster's turn. And we are back over here to our scary situation. So Robert Tylen is going to be surrounded, and this deep orc is going to make it out into the hallway to attack Grimina. Let's go ahead and take care of that first. 1 and 2. The deep orc swings its axe at Gramina, but misses. Thank God there, because it totally could have killed her. Okay, over here with Robert Tylan. First off, the Dread Warrior swings its mace, hitting him with a 2. He does not block either hit, bringing him down to 4 body points, but triggers another one of Robert's skills. His retaliation skill. This skill can only be used if you have 5 or fewer body points, which he now does. You may use the skill immediately after you have taken damage from an adjacent monster. Immediately make an attack against that monster. So he might just get rid of it for the sake of it hitting him. He swings his battle axe in retaliation, hitting the Dread Warrior with a 3. It does not block at all, meaning it is dead. That's the way to go. Use those berserker skills. However, he's not out of the woods yet, because we also have a mountain goblin right here. The mountain goblin swings its sword, but misses. I think that's the second turn in a row it's missed him. And this wasteland orc here swings its mace, also missing him. But check that out, people. That shouldn't happen, right? 3 black shields. Only 1/6 chance on every dice to get a black shield, and we just rolled 3 of them. Are there any math geniuses in the chat right now that can tell us what are the odds of getting 3 black shields? That's wild. Okay, so actually that monster's turn again went pretty well, because we are back to Robert Tylan's turn, and that retaliation did not use up an action. He still has both his actions for this turn. I think he probably ought to... Now the Wasteland Orc is the bigger threat, but if he can get out here, this Deep Orc is actually the biggest threat of the 3 monsters that we're looking at. So let's go ahead and get rid of this goblin, hopefully. Robert swings... Are we down to frenzy level yet? No, darn it. Robert swings his battle axe, hitting that goblin with the 3, which is definitely a skilled strike. That goblin is super dead. Get out of here. Nothing else to be searched for in this room, so let's just go ahead and move him 1, 2, so that he provides himself as an alternate target to that deep orc in case nobody gets rid of it. It is Gramina's turn, so let's see if she can get rid of this deep orc. Can we get a little closer to this? A little bit. That camera doesn't like to stay down. Gramina swings her broadsword at the deep orc, hitting it with a 2. That's good. It attempts to defend and does not. All right, good. Gramina's not totally out of the game. She is not down for the count yet. What else can she do? We might as well move her up here at least. And we are now at Mordecai the Wizard. And just because, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And he is going to use his second action to cast his Tempest spell on that orc. And that essentially means that that orc misses its next turn. So we'll go ahead and leave the Tempest spell here so that we remember not to let that orc do anything. Back over here, poor Hogard fell in a pit trap. Banged his face right on it. Now he can crawl out of there, but he doesn't know for sure that this trap isn't trapped, or this space isn't trapped, or that one isn't, or that one isn't. So honestly, we probably ought to have him try to disarm this trap. So we're going to go ahead and roll a combat dice, and as long as this is not a black shield, he is successful. Okay. In his attempt to disarm the trap, he falls back into it, suffering another body point of damage. He is now down to 6 body points, and his turn is over. Oh, man. I'm glad we're filming this, right? Because this is proof of the ridiculous luck of these dice. That is absolutely ridiculous. 1/6 chance of him failing that disarm, and he did. Monster's turn. The only monster we have on the board is that Wasteland Orc, which is Tempested, so it can't do anything. However, the whirlwind has now abated. We are back to Robert Tylan, who's right here. Let's see if he can go ahead and get rid of that orc for us. Plenty of movement. I actually didn't even need to roll that. Robert swings his battle axe at the orc, but misses, because that's how this game is going now. Okay, Gramina, can you get in here and take care of this? Do you have better luck now? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Gramina swings her broadsword, hitting the orc with 1. I mean, that is enough to kill it. But this is a wasteland orc. It has better defense than normal. Okay, it didn't block. Okay. Gramina to the rescue. That's fair. Robert rescued her. She kind of rescued him. It works out. This leaves us with Merlin to check out some of these rooms. Now, this yellow room up here just needs search for treasure. This red room needs secret doors and treasure. So which room is he headed to? He's going to go up to that yellow room. Mordecai's a little bit more interested in where those doors lead, I have to imagine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 5, 6. Is he going to stop here and search for treasure or go ahead and move towards one of the doors? Yeah, he's going to stop there and search this room for treasure. We don't have anything special. Let's see what he finds. Ooh, Mordecai found a wandering monster. That's the first one we've had in this quest. Oh, man. The wandering monster in this quest is a Dread Warrior. Ouch. So Dread Warrior pops out. They did not see this guy coming, and it immediately swings its mace at Mordecai, hitting him with a 2. Which Mordecai does not defend. For the second time in like 5 minutes, 3 black shields. Every dice we rolled, black shield. That shouldn't happen, right? Isn't that ridiculous? Dropped Mordecai to 8 body points. Luckily, he's still doing really good on body points. But that is crazy. Okay. Back over here, we have Hogard in a trap. He needs to disarm this thing. And he has every chance to get this. Let's get him disarming this trap. No way! No way! He falls in the trap again, dropping him to 5 body points.
Just let it get out.
Gosh, this is insane. How in the world? How in the world? Okay. Gosh. That is ridiculous. Okay, now, Monster's turn. Here's a weird thing. Now, regular viewers know about this, but just in case you're not a regular viewer, in normal Hero Quest rules, I'm pretty sure that this Dread Warrior would get to attack again. However, on this turn cycle, it has already attacked. The Wandering Monster status just moved its attack from the monster's turn to when it was drawn. So it is not going to attack on this turn, but if it survives to the next turn, it will. So we are now at Robert Tylan the Berserker down here, who needs to get up there and try and get rid of the guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Robert swings his battle axe at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 3. That's good. Maybe we'll just one-shot the guy and just take him right back off. The Dread Warrior attempts to defend and doesn't. All right. That's some end of the quest dice luck right there. Maybe the dice are turning back in our favor. Okay, Gramina. We need to get over here into this red room and get it searched. We got 2 heroes going the other way. Let's go ahead and let her go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. She gets just into the red room. She either needs to search for secret doors or treasure. And she's actually going to search for treasure. That's kind of surprising. Let's see what she finds. She found a heroic brew and took home all the winnings. Because after all, who's going to argue? That heroic brew will allow her to attack twice as a single action whenever she chooses to drink it. That will come in handy later on. Okay, Mordecai, up here in the yellow room, there is no more searching to be done, which means we need to just exit out one of those doors. Which door is that gonna be? It is gonna be the one that he's looking at already. He opens the door out into this hallway. I'm gonna push the camera back just a little bit there so that you guys can also see. There are no additional doors. We already know about the wall that is right there. Now, technically, he can't see these 2 walls, but because this is a tiny hallway, I'm gonna go ahead and just put them down. Got a wall there, actually being blocked by that being backwards, and a wall here. So this is all that's out there. Are we gonna search for traps or just go out there? Nope, he's gonna go out there, okay? Doesn't make any sense, but okay. 1, 2, he can now see this tiny bit of hallway here. So we're going to go ahead and end this turn because any smart player would know that either there's got to be a secret door out here or this is a dead end. So now that his turn is over, is he going to search for traps or secret doors? He's going to go for secret doors, revealing that there are no secret doors out here. This hallway is just a waste of time. Back over to Hogard. Buddy, you have 5 more chances to get rid of this trap. This room just needs search for treasure, and that's it. What is this? Is this the third turn? Third turn now that he's been trying to get rid of this trap? I think it is. He attempts to disarm the trap, and he is finally successful. Gosh. That was very frustrating. Okay, Hogard, now that you're out of that trap, this room still hasn't been searched for a single thing. Is he going to search for traps, secret doors, or treasure? He's going for secret doors. And there are none in this room, revealing this room is also a little bit of a dead end. This also means that he does not need to search for traps because he's stepped on every relevant square. And just between you guys and me, since he doesn't need to know now, that was the only trap in the room. He stepped on it, fell in it a bunch of times, and next turn he'll get to search for treasure. No monsters. So we are back to Robert Tylan here, who needs to open that other door. 1, 2. Opening this door, he finds the room mostly empty except for a chest. Treasure chest right there. All right, buddy, are we searching for traps before we walk in here? Nope. Luckily, that square is not trapped. Now that he is in here, is he searching for traps, searching for secret doors, or searching for treasure? He is searching for secret doors, and there are none. Gromina, down here in the red room. We don't need to switch cameras. She's already there. She is going to search this room for secret doors and find none. We are pretty much done with the quest. We just need to kind of clean up things. So she might as well head up there too. 1, 2, 3, 4. If that chest is trapped, if he bothers to check it, she will be able to disarm it. Mordecai, nothing really much to do up there. Let's go ahead and get him back down into this room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Theoretically, he could be heading back to the stairs. There's no other way to go in this quest. And finally, over here, Hogard is going to search for treasure in this room. Let's pray this is not a wandering monster. Let's see what he finds. He actually found a wolfsbane potion. Now, these things are neat, but not needed right now. In a later book in our campaign, we will come, across some monsters that can turn the heroes into werewolves, and this potion is handy then. For now, we can just sell it at the end of the quest for a little bit of extra gold. Now we can get Hogard moving out of that room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm quite sure we moved him off camera. Yes, we did. There we go. All right, again, no monsters on the board, so we are back to Robert Tylan up here in that tiny little room. Are we searching for traps or searching for treasure? Good man, searching for traps first, and luckily, no traps in this room. So we'll go ahead and let him search for treasure now, which is going to be the final thing in the quest tonight. In that chest, he finds 200 coins. Not a bad payday. So that's going to put us up to 630. Okay, and as I mentioned, that is also going to end the playing portion of the quest tonight. So let's do a little bit of cleanup and talk skill sets and all that good stuff. This quest was a fairly short one tonight, made a little bit longer than normal just by the absolute garbage dice rolls that we were getting for a portion of the quest. This is still one of the shorter ones, but they did a very good job making sure that it was still difficult. We still came really close to having a couple of hero deaths here, which is kind of surprising. Okay, so first things first, gold reward. Mentor awards each surviving hero after a quest 50 gold coins, which means we get another 200 coins, popping us up to 830. We can also sell the wolfsbane potion that Hogard found. So go ahead and put that in the treasure discard, and let me review. I'm pretty sure that's 75 coins, but let me make sure that's right. Yes, 75 coins we get for selling that. Which is going to be, obviously that makes us end in 5. And the 7 is going to put us up to 915. By the way, seriously, if any of you guys in here ever catch me putting a wrong number down because I did the math wrong, call me out on that. I don't mind. If I've gotten something wrong, I'm not trying to. So if you guys happen to catch that I've got some math wrong, say something, by all means. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to pass off the Spirit Blade. So Hogard found it, but we are going to give this to Gramina. And that means that we can sell her broadsword. She doesn't need that anymore. So that's actually going to give us another 125 coins. So that's, let me brain that out. So it's 915. That's going to put us up to 920, 940. So that's 1,040 coins if I've done that math right. And we can erase the broadsword off Gramina's sheet and replace that with Spirit Blade, which is going to give her 4 close range attack against undead monsters, 3 attack against everybody else, which is what she had already. That also means that, rather hilariously, Gramina is going to be the star of this book and also book 3. She has got to be the one to deal the killing blow to the final boss of this book, which happens in the next quest. So that is going to be Monday night's quest. Let's go ahead and clean up unused skills and spells. Used a lot of the spells this quest, which is nice. Clean up some items here. And then we'll get our skill sets paper out. So also each surviving hero at the end of a quest gets 2 skill set points, which they have to spend immediately leveling up in one of 6 categories. I guess they can spend those 2 points however they want. It doesn't have to be one category. There are 10 levels in each of the 6 categories, and each hero class benefits from those levels differently. There is not a reward for every single level, but there's always something good for maxing out any category. So even if it's not something you would think of that character needing, they're still going to benefit from it. Okay, Robert Tylan did pretty good on this quest, just being the powerhouse, taking out a whole bunch of monsters. Pretty much anywhere he went, he was doing good stuff, so really good. We bought him that battle axe, and I think he put that to really good use. His first point tonight is going to be spent in Magic Memorization Level 1, which is not going to benefit a Berserker a whole lot until later. Yes, he doesn't get anything until Level 5 in that. His second point is going to be spent in Machinery Level 2, which is definitely a good thing for him to get to. Now, he doesn't get anything there again until Level 5, but there he will be able to disarm traps without needing to buy a toolkit. So no specific benefit for him tonight, but he's setting himself up to get some good stuff later. Gramina, the lucky one in this quest. She's been doing a lot better. I mentioned earlier that we kind of added her as an in-joke. Years and years and years ago, this character was created, I think, by my wife. You created Gramina, didn't you? Or did Sam? Okay. So Savannah created this character years ago, and she has ended up in pretty much everything that we do. If Savannah's ever playing as a dwarf, you can bet that dwarf is going to be Gramina. So it felt right to canonize that character in this. But she's always been the butt of jokes. I mean, in everything she's ever been in, we make fun of her the whole time. She doesn't do very good the whole time. So it's been kind of funny to watch her interacting as these characters being randomized. And sometimes she does really good, and sometimes she reflects the bad luck that her character has always had. I think she had a pretty decent mix in this quest of both good luck and bad luck. But she got the Spirit Blade, which is one of the most powerful artifacts you can get, so that's cool. Her first point tonight is going to be spent in Education Level 3. Education increases your mind points. Now, she's not going to get an increase for Level 3, but still good. The more mind points you have, the harder it is, the easier it is to throw off spells that are trying to control you. Her second point, then, is going to be Magic Skill Level 2, which I imagine is nothing for her. That's correct. However, for Level 3, she'll get access to spells. So if she pairs that with magic memorization, level 2, she'll actually start getting some spells to take into the quest. So that'll be interesting. Mordecai did really well using his spells on this quest. He helped in the room with the Spirit Blade. He helped take out that Doom Guard, which was the hardest monster in the quest. Didn't get hit very much, so he definitely did a good job staying out of the way. This was his 3rd ever quest. He's still our newest hero. His first point is going to be combat level 2, which is probably nothing for him, right? He doesn't get anything there until level 5 because wizards aren't usually doing combat. And his second point is going to be magic memorization level 1. Now there's a good thing for him. However, he doesn't get anything until level 2, which means he gets to pick one of his spells instead of it being random. So he has spread his skill sets out so far so that he's setting himself up to get a lot of benefits quickly when he starts hitting them. And finally, Hogard, also putting his brand new battle axe to really good use in this quest. Managed to take out that Doom Guard, the first ever Doom Guard that we've seen in the campaign, and also fell in a pit trap so much that he almost died. Let's go ahead and get his points here. Oh, I forgot to mark off quest 13. His first point is going to be combat level 2, which is nothing. Level 2 is one of the only things the dwarf doesn't get anything, but at level 3 his base defense is going to go up again. And his second point is going to be combat level 3. Okay, that works out. So his base defense increases by 1. This means that if all of his armor were taken away, he would still... Okay, Justin said crap, I missed the whole quest. Yeah, this one was really quick. He would still be throwing 3 defense dice even if all of his stuff was taken away. Now, we'll explain this just in case anybody doesn't know. We have a base attack and a base defense, which is what the character rolls if they don't have weapons or armor. Your base attack is not affected by what weapon you have. The weapons just give you a certain amount of dice and it doesn't matter what your base attack is. But defense works differently. Anything that you buy in armor is added on top of your base defense. So because his base defense went up, the amount of defense dice he throws just normally also goes up, giving him 5 defense dice. This is putting him near the max. Dwarves, I think, max out at 7 defense dice, which seems like a lot, especially if you're a normal Hero Quest rules kind of person. But trust me, I've played through this a whole bunch of times, and dwarves still manage to get not even a single white shield, even when they're rolling 7 dice. So it ends up not being overpowered. All right, that is going to do it for us tonight. I think, now Savannah's been down here painting while we've been questing, and I think she finished Moonstone, right? Moonstone the Druid. So let's take a look at that before we get out of here.
Form, but the Druid form.
Nice, so this is her character card right here, but we were not necessarily going for that color scheme. Here we are. Moonstone the Druid. Now she hasn't painted the shape-shifted bear form yet, but the regular form, yeah, I like that. That's neat. I wasn't super big on the kind of like brown clothing in the character sheet, so this sort of like darker brown and green I think fits really, really well. And making the hair still red but darker, I like that too. Nice.
I gave her eyebrows.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you did. I didn't even notice that.
She's got eyebrows on the card.
That's great. Yes, good. That means we are almost done with at least the heroes we currently have in the ranks. Okay. Thraken the Barbarian is left.
Robert Kylan.
And yep, the Berserker that went on tonight's quest, and then that bear form.
That's it?
Yeah, for heroes, yeah. Okay, so tomorrow night is a painting streams. Remember, Sunday nights and Wednesday nights are always painting streams. Same channel, same time, right at midnight. So if you want to come and hang out with Savannah tomorrow, she's going to be doing some more painting. What you planning on doing tomorrow? The Witch Lord. She's going to paint the Witch Lord. Nice. Okay, let's take a look at that guy. So this right here is the Witch Lord. And he is actually the final boss of this book. So Monday night's quest is going to be them getting rid of this guy. And that's not a spoiler because they accidentally awoke him in last night's quest. So tonight's quest was them getting the only weapon that can harm him, that spirit blade. So she's going to be painting this super cool guy in tomorrow's stream. If you want to come hang out with her, I'm sure she would appreciate that. Watch some guys getting painted and hang out and chat. As far as quests, we will be back Monday night for the hopefully thrilling conclusion of our first book, The Coming Storm, which again is only book 1 out of 14. So we've got, I mean, literally more than 100 more quests to go. So we've got plenty more stuff coming at you. As always, thank you for tuning in to the channel tonight. We hope you enjoy what you watched, what you heard. If you wouldn't mind, if you did enjoy, hit that follow button, or if you're watching this later when it's not live on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate any support that we get. The channel is growing little by little every day, and we really appreciate that. So thank you guys one more time, and we will catch you guys tomorrow night for a painting stream, and then I will catch you guys again on Monday night for another quest. We'll see you then.